A mid-October night in 2021 took the world by storm after an erupting fireball floated into the earth, with a bright tail following right behind. Spotted all across the continental United States and even some parts of Canada, bewildered citizens recording the incident initially wondered if the burning spot in the skies was of an alien origin, while others immediately pointed to a meddling Russia. As a renewed era of the space race generates more and more interference with the United States, fresh and unexpected space programs are becoming all too common. And while this shimmering ball was not of natural origin, it was not surprising to many top officials. In fact, other similar ones might be just around the corner. Whether by coincidence or on purpose, Russia's reconnaissance satellites are now closer to America's than ever. A fireball across America. Around 12:43 a.m. on October 20th, 2021, a mysterious fireball slowly swirled across the sky for about a minute. As sleepy citizens across the United States looked out their windows, they were shocked to see a brilliant fireball burning up in the sky. The object's glimmering trail was spotted by people as far south as Tennessee and as far north as Michigan and beyond. The re-entry of the mystery satellite was even spotted as far north as Ontario, Canada, where a man driving home noticed a shimmering streak leaving small chunks behind it. Dozens of videos, photos, and eyewitness accounts told of the fireball moving across the night, leaving many wondering what the object was. Many social media commenters noted that the object was most likely not natural, as meteorites are usually much smaller and move a lot faster, thus burning quickly. In addition, it would take longer for a large satellite to disintegrate and encounter more resistance as it re-entered the atmosphere, causing it to burn longer. A total of 153 witness reports were filed with the American Meteor Society in a matter of hours, and its top experts soon began to analyze the strange incidents. According to the scientists in the nonprofit organization, the footage shows the satellite getting closer to Earth than ever before as it hurtles towards the horizon. In reality, it was flying at an altitude of 40 miles. But all the questions would be answered by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration only a day later. A sneaky satellite. According to the service's Meteor Watch official social media, the October event was not caused by a natural object, as the mysterious fireball that lit up the sky over the eastern United States was actually the re-entry and fragmentation of a failed Russian surveillance satellite. The item in question, named COSMOS 2551, was a Rosbeg reconnaissance satellite, a new type of Earth-imaging satellite within the Russian military. According to official reports, it was launched on September 9, 2021, at 3:59 p.m. from the Plesetsk military launch site in northern Russia, aboard a Soyuz Tu-1V rocket. Shortly after that, the satellite apparently failed. It is believed that the spacecraft had not adjusted its orbit once since liftoff, and according to Saradata Space Intelligence, this left the satellite in a low orbit as it struggled to climb to its intended 108-mile altitude above Earth. Instead of thriving, the Earth-imaging satellite's original orbit began to quickly decay as it failed to hold altitude, heading now to the continental United States. In addition to NASA's contribution, astronomer Jonathan McDowell, a leading observer of satellites and other orbiting spacecraft, and based at the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, became a beacon amongst the web sleuths looking for an explanation. McDowell accurately predicted the event a day earlier, and his forecast turned out to be off by only less than an hour. He wrote in a social media post, quote, "Russia's recently launched COSMOS 2551 spy satellite is a failure. It has not adjusted its orbit since launch on September 9th and is expected to re-enter tomorrow." Despite the warning, the astronomer also reassured his followers that the satellite's incineration would most likely not hurt anyone, as its 1,100-pound size ensured no debris was expected to reach the ground. Another suspicious falling Cosmo. The COSMOS 2551 Razbeg reconnaissance satellite incident was not the only Russian satellite to have fallen in this new decade, as the phenomenon has repeated itself in different variations throughout the years. On April 29, 2022, COSMOS 2555 was launched by the Angara 1.2 rocket from the Plesetsk Cosmodrome. The spacecraft was launched in similar orbital parameters to the COSMOS 2551, meaning it was likely performing similar missions. While Russian military initially reported that the satellite had entered its normal orbit, it soon followed the same fate as its predecessor, making it clear that the reports of success did not correspond to reality. After entering orbit, COSMOS 2555 failed to perform a single and yet essential maneuver to raise the altitude of its orbit. Judging by the Russian satellite's inability to raise altitude, either some kind of accident occurred on board, or it ultimately failed. This massive error led it to lose orbit only 19 days after launch, and the device began to rapidly lose altitude, burning up in the atmosphere and shutting down while coming back to Earth. Still, until the fall of the 2021 satellite, the COSMOS 2555 hadn't fallen back to Earth by May 15th, even as its perigee had decreased significantly. As such, the satellite will likely burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, and citizens from all over the world may once again catch a glimpse of a failed Russian satellite. The COPYCAT. Encounters between Russian and American satellites are a common occurrence, and the clashes seem to be rising in number. In August of 2022, Netherlands-based satellite tracker company Marco Lengbroek reported that a Russian satellite was placed nearly in the same orbit as a classified American reconnaissance satellite, and it was on purpose. According to reports that were later confirmed by the United States, the Russian satellite known as COSMOS 2558 was launched on August 1st. The satellite appears to have been placed in nearly the same orbit as a classified American reconnaissance satellite that launched on February 2nd. COSMOS 2558, an inspector satellite, is currently mirroring the American satellite's orbit, with a difference of just 0.04 degrees, and appears to be hovering within just 37 miles of the United States-owned spacecraft. The American-owned reconnaissance satellite it is following, USA 326, is part of a top-secret national security mission managed by the National Reconnaissance Office in coordination with the privately owned SpaceX. As such, the Pentagon is none too pleased. According to General James H. Dickinson, commander of United States Space Command, Russia's actions are, quote, really irresponsible behavior. We see that it's in a similar orbit to one of our high-value assets for the U.S. government, and so we'll continue, like we always do, to continue to update that and track that. Friend or foe? The exact mission and capabilities of the COSMOS 2558, 2551, and 2555 satellites remain unknown, as is common with the Russian space program. Still, according to estimates, they are believed to be top-secret inspector satellites, capable of approaching others in close orbit and shadowing them. According to astronomer McDowell, such a satellite likely features a sensor system designed to view other spacecraft, rather than the typical observing satellite designed to take aerial photographs of the ground. With 3 Russian satellite incidents in less than 2 years, the European superpower seems to be closer than ever to the United States space program. Thank you for watching Dark Footage. Make sure you hit the like button and share with a friend if you enjoyed our video. And for more incredible footage of unlikely stories, as well as the best historical content, subscribe to this and all the channels in the Dark Documentaries family. Stay tuned.